So for the first sample, I am going to use the seam side to create a pinked and stitch because it prevents fraying and reduce bulk. And since I am going to use the pinked scissors, it will on the edges it will be able um, to give the fabric to give more cleanness and also to give a little bit more decorations. So I've already put in my pins of where I'm going to be stitching, which is going to be a 1/2 inch, and I'm using paper on both sides of the fabric to be able to guide where I'm going to be sewing. And I'm also going to use the paper as an example of the lining I'm going to be using for the project. So I've already begun sewing the edges since I cannot be able to hold the foam while I go forward from the stitch at least 2 or 3 times and then back stitch. So I'm going to keep going and be able to follow the lines of the pins to help me guide the stitch. So I've already finished sewing the edges with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now I am going to use the pink scissors to create a triangle effect on the raw edges, and then I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I've already pinked the edges and I've already did a 1/4 inch seam allowance and stitch it onto both sides of the seam side.